You're live.
Hello. Welcome to our Be Creative class today.
Be creative.
Yes, so it's going to be so much fun. Thank you to everybody that pre-bought their class kits. This is something we've been trying to do since August. Can you believe that?
Wow. But this is kind of a summery thing. We're doing it right like the day before
It's not summery. It's just a bee. This is every day.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Bees are every day.
Yeah.
We were delayed because we were waiting on the fabric that we use. So, anyways, we're excited, and thank you to everybody that was patient when we had to keep delaying the class. So we're here, we're ready, and it's gonna be fun. And I got thinking about it. I was like, this would be such a cute handmade Christmas gift. So
yeah.
this would be a really fun handmade Christmas gift.
Because right after they take down the Christmas stuff that somebody's decorated, this is going to be ready to go for them on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what we're doing today, if you are just joining us, what we're doing is we are going to be doing the finishing to this darling stitch pattern. So we're not going to be going over stitching today. We're going over how to finish it onto our stitch surface, which is a beehive. And you're going to continue to see lots and lots more stitch surfaces exclusively by ADORNit coming out in 2022. So this is kind of a kickoff for stitch surfaces. And a stitch surface is a wood piece that we custom design, and it will go with different stitch designs that we have, and it's going to be a lot of fun in 2022. So that's exciting. So hello everyone that's joining. We're so happy to have you on here. So a little bit about this design. This is designed by Lindsay Ostrom, the actual artwork of the stitch pattern. And it says, be silly, be honest, be kind. And I just absolutely loved the saying. And then the cute little flowers and the cute little flying bees. So the complete kit, if you got that, Mom, will you grab the complete kit?
Yeah, this is what their kit would have looked like that they got in the mail.
Yeah.
Or it's not too late to still order them.
Yep, you can still order these if you haven't got one. You can absolutely come back. We're going to have a YouTube video that will go through all of this as well. And so Miranda has a link up above that you can put your email in, and then once we have the YouTube link, we will be the first to let you know. So anyways, this is the finishing kit. So this has the wood beehive that is an ADORNit exclusive. It's a darling wood piece, and what's so neat about it are the lines are actually engraved for the cute little beehive. And then it comes with the mat board for the mounting. It comes with our exclusive fabric. That's what was holding us up. It comes with this darling ribbon to create a bow. It comes with your rickrack. It comes with wood beads. It comes with the twine, and it comes with an exclusive little wood bee in there. So that is what your exclusive class kit looked like. So like I said, you can still order it with that link above as well. So Carolee is kind of getting a head start.
I am. What I'm doing is I'm base coating the wood. So remember we talked about 4 different major colors that we would work with, and one was just a basic cadmium yellow. And you're going to see we have the DecoArt brand, but we have other brands that we use here at the warehouse too. We love them all. Plaid. There's lots of different crafting paints. But I have, years ago, I was a DecoArt helping artist, so I am partial a little bit to DecoArt. It's a great paint. I love the new tubes that they have as well. So if you see these tubes, I think it's a little thicker and a little bit better quality. So that's my new thing that I'm now collecting, but the older paint tubes are like this. But what I've done is there's grooves, right, on the wood. And so I made myself a little palette here, and I take some water, squirt out the paint, and I thin it down to go down inside those little grooves that she was talking about, where the wood has been pre-cut. And I just go ahead and take the bare wood and I just start putting the paint. Now if it's a little too thick, I can thin it down on this first one But I'm going to be sanding this so it's not going to have a problem. And then on the sides of the wood, I'll just kind of tap my brush. And this is just a basic brush from the craft store, and it's about 1 inch, okay? And I'll just tap it along like this, and as you can see, it will kind of bubble up on the sides, and then I'll take my brush and smooth that off, because you don't want it to bubble up. If it bubbles up on the back side of your project, you can take your finger and wipe it off. And I love this wood where it's kind of sealed on the back side. The wood came that way, and it was really neat because it doesn't require a lot of finishing on the back side. I liked that. So here we go. We've got cadmium yellow, and this is called base coating, and that's where we put our first coat of paint, and I'm gonna just let this kind of dry, and then I will sand it, and then we'll give it another coat. While this dries, we're gonna just chit chat a little bit about our projects, because this is gonna take, that's why I said to Georgiana, I really kind of need to get this base coated so it dries, so you guys don't have to be waiting. And I don't
watching paint dry.
Yeah, I don't have a blow dryer.
Oh.
I don't know why I didn't bring a blow dryer.
We could have brought a blow dryer.
Yeah.
We have our heat gun.
With the heat gun.
The shrink wrap gun.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
the heat
we'll
gun
go
would
grab it.
definitely work. Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
So give it some warm air. For those of you who live in more high humidity areas, you'll find that it takes a little longer for paint to dry. The people who live in the West, where there's less humidity, like here in Utah, then it dries a lot faster. So it just depends on where you live too with using your acrylic paint. One of the things I didn't use, but you could, is extender. Extender helps extend the paint a little longer to paint. And I will use extender if I want the paint to extend the drying time. Well, with the technique we're going to use where we're going to paint wet on wet as we add the colors, then extender could be used, or I just have a cute little water bottle and I'll spray mist and give it just a quick mist of water, and it keeps it wet and kind of works a lot like extender, so you can save yourself money. But if you live on the East Coast where it's a little bit more humidity, you may not even need extender, but for us in the West Coast or water, I use it, okay? So if you see me do it, that's why, is I'm trying to extend the drying time.
Okay.
So
good to know. Well, we have lots and lots of friends on. So hello everyone. We're so happy to have you guys here. And let's do a giveaway. So I want to give away one of Vicki Chrisman's felt ornament kit. So it's her Darling Bee felt ornaments. And it's a trio project, so it has a cute little stuffed bee. And then, oh, we've lost an antenna on ours. And then we have a Darling banner that comes in this. And this Darling beehive that is a pocket.
And it's great because you get your dowel and all of the add-ons too.
Yeah.
You get everything, really.
You do. So we're going to give one of those away to a live winner. So we're just going to choose somebody that's commenting and asking questions and participating, because we love doing live classes. And the reason why they're so fun is so that you guys can ask questions as we go along. So this will be a really fun class. Evelyn says it's her very first class with us, and she is so excited.
oh, yay, good. Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's neat.
So
one of the best parts about these is that you guys can ask questions and then you can get answers immediately.
Yep.
So if you have questions, let us know.
Well, and we're a multi-craft company, so we have been doing the last, I'd say 2-3 years heavily stitching. But in the warehouse, we have lots of scrapbook paper still, so you can find that on the website. And we have different collections. I think our last collection we did was camping this last summer with Lindsay Oldstrom stuff, and she has fabric that coordinates. And then we did a cottage home series. And what is that stitch club called?
Welcome Home.
WelcomeHomeStitchClub.com. And that has a paper line that coordinates with it too. So we are multi-craft, and we love all the varieties that crafting gives. So it's not just about stitching.
One thing, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But the stitching, I think,
it's definitely dominating what's happening right now.
Yeah.
It's been very
we
popular.
kind of got into the stitching because of the coloring. And we got into the coloring because of the scrapbooking. So
If
one
you're-
thing feeds to another.
If you're painting along with us, you will want to get your base coat down.
Oh,
now.
yes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, while I'm talking, you're going to want to get out your cadmium yellow and your 1-inch brush, and I just have a water basin set to go. You could use a basic plastic paper plate. This particular palette that I have is a little metal tray I got from the dollar store. I put down a paper towel, folded in half, so like two pieces. So it's thick enough that 2 pieces of, I put down a piece of tracing paper or parchment paper, and you can use cooking parchment, like what you use for cookies. So
Nice.
you can cut that down and put on too, so you can use something right from the kitchen. And then I will squirt my, get my paper towel wet, and then I put my paints on top. And none of the moisture comes up, but the cold from the paint actually helps keep the paint from drying out. And so I love to work with the parchment paper and make a stay wet palette. So once you get your base coat on there really good and it's dried, then we can go on and sand. And you can take a basic sanding block or sanding paper, and you can do a real quick smooth coat. It'll take off any of the lumpy bumpies you might have. This still is not quite dry, it's almost. You can tell if the paint's dry or not if it loses the shine. If you move it and you still see shiny spots, like I see a few here and there, that means that it's not dry. And this just is one basic base coat.
So we're getting questions, so let's answer a couple of them.
Yeah.
So this kit is still available. There's a link above where you can purchase it. It's available with thread or without thread, since we're going to be making
Some people
this
just popped on.
finished item here. So, and then we're getting people asking on the classes. Today, this is the class.
Yep, so this is the finishing kit that you'll get in the mail. We have quite a few people that knew we were going to do this. We send out emails, so you want to be on our email list. And they answered the email, ordered it, and so they have this ahead. But this is something that you can watch back and do later. So you can order this, get it in the mail, and then go back and rewatch this video, because it will give you the tips, okay?
Or even if you just want painting tips, you can always come back to this video and refresh.
Yeah, these are just basic craft painting and nothing fancy. And so once this base coat is on, like I said, I'm going to give it a light sanding, and I can blow off that excess. You can run your hand across it, and you know when you hit wet spots when there's paint on your
on your sanding block.
Yeah, won't ruin it, but that's where you know you got a little bit of paint on there. So there we are with it all base coated, okay? And it's just a really, really fun bright green. See the difference in the adding the colors that it can be?
Yep.
So now we're going to add colors. And I'm going to work upside down so that it would be right side to them, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to be upside down today, guys. And I can paint upside down.
I feel like you could probably paint in your sleep, Carolee. Tell them all how long you've been doing this, how you started with painting. Let's hear your whole story.
I started painting in my community here in Smithfield, Utah, because of mostly because I had moved from Salt Lake area, South Jordan here, and I just didn't know anybody. I was new to the community, and so I saw in the newspaper there was a toll conference. And toll painting, T-O-L-E, toll painting is still alive and well, and it's an old Norwegian form of painting, but it's called decorative painting also, because you're making things that are decor for your home, so decorative painting. And there is a National Society of Decorative Painters, and I've been heavily involved with that for years and absolutely love the ladies and love the association. So if you want to get further into painting, that's definitely, you want to check them out because they are on Facebook. So I started painting. I took a class and I went, wow, this is great. I did layout and design and art in college and high school.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what did you? Because I know you went to Rick's, right?
I did, and I took all the basic prerequisites and learned a ton. And but I didn't finish graduating. I got married. I bet a lot of women can
relate.
But my dad always said, you need to be a school teacher. And I was like, but I want to be an artist. And he said, well, how are you going to make money being an artist? And it was like, I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm going to do it.
But that was always in the back of my mind, right? And so school teaching didn't happen. And somehow I fell into this whole decorative painting world that was my happy place. And I've made friends and people from all over across the United States and worldwide, and and that's how I got into scrapbooking, is because I was painting. People were cutting my painting things apart and putting them onto paper, and they asked if I would do my things in color with stickers and paper. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they said, well, scrapbooking. My father-in-law passed away, and my mother-in-law was trying to put together his family story, his history. And so all of a sudden I found myself just going, wow, I get it. I see why people want to gather their family stories, and so I started making stuff that fit for me and my kids. So one of the first papers I did was a moose with pine trees because we did camping. And I had no idea how well that would sell. And he was all hand painted. It was so cute and fun. So going back to this, we're going to give this now a second coat. And this second coat, I'm going to add a lot of water to the paint, guys. So hopefully you've got yours base coated and drying. And now you can watch me do the next segment.
While you wait for it to dry.
And I'm just going to get this really, really wet. And like I said, I'm going to add a lot of paint. I'm going to put some more out. Perfect. And this second coat that we're putting, like I said, we're going to add a lot of water. Kind of think of it as runny gravy, like if you're cooking. See how I'm adding a lot of water to that? And I want it to be thin. So we're going to do that. And I'm just going to slip and slap, slip, slap, swoosh, swoosh, whatever you want to call it, back and forth across this beehive. I don't have to really worry about covering the sides because I did that when I did the first base coating. Remember I talked about tapping the brush on the sides, smoothing it out on the top, okay? Perfect. So you don't really need to do that the second time. We're getting this nice and wet, and the reason why we want it so wet is the paint will give it the second coat, but also it will allow us to do a technique called wet on wet. And that wet on wet technique is super basic. It helps you blend your paint as you go. Okay, so here we are with it all nice and wet. Now because I live in a dry climate, I'm going to give it a squirt with water. Mist, mist, mist. And that helps hold the moisture, okay? Misting it. If you are a wetter climate, you might not need to do that. Okay, then I'm going to pick up this darker color, and I'm going to start bringing it across my beehive. And I'm going to start from the outside edge, and I'm going to wisp my brush in.
And you don't have that one nearly as wet as you had your last yellow.
Yeah, I'm just picking right up from the paint that I squoze out.
So any moisture there is just from the paper towels.
Yes. And if anybody has questions, just shout them out while I'm doing this.
A lot of people are saying it's soothing just to listen to you and watch you.
Good. Yeah, they can just watch it, learn, and then go make it later. And the reason I want it to be darker on the sides, and I'm just kind of wisping it in, and you lose some of that base coat color that you had before, which that is just what it is. It's a base coat. It's the bottom layer, right? So I'm going to put that in and wisp it. I want it to be darker on the sides because I want to add shape and color to the beehive. I don't want the beehive to be flat. One color. Boring.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, boring.
So now we have the expert.
Yeah. Now I'm going to pick up the next color, which is even darker. And I want to be a little bit more careful with that one, depending on how dark you want it to go. I kind of thought I went a little too dark on my sample. So I'm going to go lighter on this one. And as I do this, because the paint's wet, it just kind of blends into the other color. That's why it's just, it kind of blends it and all does it all at the same time.
So Cindy's got a question for you.
Okay.
So was the wet coat that you did the same color as your base coat? That second coat that you did?
There's a color difference.
When you got this all wet and spread it everywhere though.
Here's the first color.
But
That's
this
the
was
base
your
coat.
base coat and then you went back through with it wet, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, so it was the same color.
Yeah, base coat, and then the second color I got it wet with this. So
Yep.
I made a second coat. Then now we're wisping. We did this color, and now we are doing the darker color.
Perfect.
Just wisping it, okay? And it kind of blends as you do it. See how it kind of, I'm just gonna wisp it back and forth. And I don't have this paint thinned down at all, like Miranda said. And see where the wood is kind of cut with the grooves? I love how it gives me those lines as a guide to kind of wisp my brush in that direction. So I'm gonna, like if it's cut like this, I'm not gonna go straight, I'm gonna kind of wisp it.
You're kind of following the
With the line.
shape.
Yeah. The bottom's straight, so I'm just gonna come straight. Yeah, very easy. Add a little bit more if I want it a little darker. See that? And like I said, it kind of blends it, and it looks a little bit patchy, not bad. Okay, then I'm gonna clean out my brush a little bit. I'm just gonna dip it in the water. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. This is where it gets real messy. I should got paper towels. Please give me paper towels.
Emily, will you grab some paper towels really quick?
How could have I forgotten to tell you to have paper towels on hand? I saw you had baby wipes and I thought, oh good, that'll be good to finish cleaning my hands. I'm going to clean that out a little bit so it doesn't have quite as much of that paint.
Where am I grabbing it from?
The bathroom?
Paper towels on the
A
wall.
paper towel?
Oh, you want me to just grab one?
Nope. Probably grab like 5 to 10.
We're painting and we
Get a
need
bunch.
paper towels. Yep. So,
I think it's funny that you keep saying this is very easy.
well, I forgot paper towels. That's how easy it is. Yeah.
I always forget something when we do class.
Yeah, there's always something.
Help, help. That's good, honey. I can hear her really pulling on it. Like, yeah. Yeah.
There we go. Thank you.
Basic. You're awesome. Okay. So, she has got me a paper towel. Yoo-hoo. And that kind of helps me. I can blot excess off if I need it. And it helps me kind of keep my hands a little bit dry. So I can take this lighter yellow. Oh, my thing's starting to dry on me. I'm going to pick up 2 colors now. And I'm going to kind of highlight that.
Don't run the vacuum down here. Okay. Thank you.
I re-moistened it.
So we're keeping it nice and wet now.
Yep, and I'm going to dry brush that color. And I lost a little bit of the color on the top, so I'm going to fix that. And I'm just going down the center with this lighter color.
So if you go a little too heavy, it's not the end of the world.
Oh,
so you're
no.
going to show us how to fix it.
Yeah, not at all. And I push and I wisp up. I push, I wisp up. Push, wisp up. See that? So I push, wisp up. Push, wisp up. Right up through the center. And that puts a highlight right up through there. Okay? If I want something to be just a little more dramatic, put a little more paint. If I got too much paint, blot it off. Then you can dry brush it just a little bit.
They're asking if you're dry brushing right now.
There's not a lot of moisture, no, because it's just straight paint. And then whatever moisture I have on the board. And that's it. Now I did lose a little bit here, so I'm going to come back to this color. And I'm going to re-add that on there. Come back and get my, because I lost, I thought, a little bit of my color on the top. And that would be done. And I might take my paper towel and I'm going to kind of clean my, I put a little plastic bag underneath this so it wouldn't ruin quite everything I'm touching because paint gets everywhere.
They were asking how you've managed to stay so clean. Some of them were saying that they were worried their clothes would be all dirty if they were doing this.
Oh no. Because you're not like slip slapping and having it go wild. you're just, where
It's a controlled slip slap.
It is over the edges, and so you may want to put something down. But see, that would be done. That's cute.
Are we ready to let that dry and have George come in?
And that's going to dry. And
All
so
right.
I'm going to just, I could take a, now if I really wanted to be picky at it, I could be a little bit more picky. I did pick up a little bit of brown. If I wanted to add something just a little darker. Because as this starts to set, you can almost like dry brush it. You can add a little bit of that darker brown to this color. And it's called Raw Sienna. Because we've gone from yellow to like a honey color to Raw Sienna. Those are the colors, okay? And I'll have her show you up close when she comes back in a minute. And I can come back and just really on the edge, just flip that brush if I want to just add just a little bit darker. And I think that's what I did on that one. I kind of forgot that there was something that was going to go on the edge. And I probably got a little carried away because I lost a little bit of the highlight. So see how I'm just flipping my brush from the edge. And it's still wet. The paint's still glistening. See the shine on it? That's how you know it's wet, is when it's got the shine. And I like this because it actually adds the texture look to the beehive. So it kind of looks like it's got a texture to it. I like that. If I want, I can pick up a little bit of the lighter color back again if you feel like you lost any of it. Flip it back and forth like we talked about. Just always put your brush down and lightly flip up. But I'm not like flipping paint. I'm just blending it. See that? Woohoo! Down and then up. Down and up.
Graceful.
I'm really exaggerating. It's like I'm an orchestra. Down and up. Really easy. But when you're all done, you have shadows that you've created to the back side, which would be the sides right here. So it looks like it's not flat, it's kind of set back. And then you have the highlights in the center, okay? And then now it's just a matter of letting it dry. And you can tell it's drying when it loses its glisten. And if you want to play more and add more, then you have to mist it, get it wet, and then you can come back and flip more paint, okay? But it does its best blending when it has the multiple colors, because as you do this, it blends from the, let me show the colors again. Will you show those up close? Whoops, I can't hold everything with my hands. There we go. It takes several of us to do this. Okay.
And then where's our pale yellow?
And oh yeah, and that really, and you could add white to this and get a similar effect.
So there we go. That's our color range.
That's the color range.
Okay, and Karen asked, does it dry matte? So here it is dry. So see how we just used a normal acrylic paint. So yes, it dries matte. And then there it is where it's glossy looking is because it's wet.
It's still wet, and I have to wait for it to dry. And I sanded it after the first coat. So if you're just joining us, we did the base coat, cadmium yellow, one full coat, let it dry, sand it, okay? Second coat, we added a lot of water to the paint, so it was almost kind of like a runny gravy, a thin gravy. And we did a whole wet, stroked it on of a second coat. While it is wet, then we start the brushing effect. And people can call it dry brushing because we don't add any water to the paint. So we took this color, which was the antique gold, and we put it on the palette, and we took it right from the paint, went from the outer edges, and stroked in. And you want it to have that feather effect where you push down, lift up on the brush.
Karen wants to know, did you seal it with anything?
Oh yes, when we're all done and it stops the glistening, you want to wait probably a good, I don't know, maybe an hour even, to let the paint kind of cure on there. I've had where the paint's lifted if we don't let it dry we went to lunch on a painting excursion and come back, but somebody had put their paint on so thick that it wasn't dry up underneath. And so when they went to put the seal coat on, it lifted. And then when it lifts, then you end up with a bare spot where the paint literally starts to come back off. And so you don't want to do that. You want to let it cure.
They want to know if we'll give the shade names, like the exact shade names that we've got.
Okay, yeah, some people that want, and you know, some of this is older Deco Art paint, so guess what, guys? Some of it could be, because Deco Art is changing some of their colors. So cadmium yellow, that's a good basic. That is a very good basic, and you can see the color, just any yellow. And I know it comes in tubes like this at the store. The second color that we used is the Antique Gold. This is a good classic, and I'm sure that's still available. And then you have Raw Sienna, which is just a good classic of paint colors. And Raw Sienna, that was the darkest one we put on. You can add a little bit of brown to it, and this is some Burnt Umber, and that's a classic color also, Burnt Umber. And then this was something we just happened to have. It's a chalk paint, but it's just super light. And you can add a lot, take white paint and just add a little bit of this to it, and you can get that effect. So, and that was the highlight color.
Perfect.
And you can see it's starting to lose its glisten, and it's starting to dry now.
Perfect.
So, and I love how the brush strokes are uneven and give a little bit of texture to the piece, because you can see where it's not perfect on the sides. The brush actually leaves all these little lines.
So don't try to over perfect anything.
Yeah. It's meant to be just wisped on the sides. And I hope you can see that. While it's wet, maybe it'd be harder to see, so as it dries, we'll be able to show that more.
What do you use to seal it?
I love, again, Deco Art and Americana paints, and they have what's called DuraClear.
Do we have that linked already from our Barn Stars?
The small ones are what we had, and we're out of them.
We're out of them.
Oh, we only have the big
Well,
jars.
we'll see if we can get more.
Yeah, we could probably contact the Americana company and get more.
So we'll
Or
see.
Deco
We'll try and do
Art.
that tonight.
Perfect.
Yeah, Deco Art. They've kind of got themselves more branded as Deco Art. As you can see on the tube, it says Deco Art Americana. And the tube paint that's coming in these smaller tubes, I think, is very good quality. So if you're starting out and you're looking, I would get these, because I think they're, it says premium. I think they are.
They're nicer.
They're thicker, they're nicer, and they've improved,
It's
I
like
think.
almost like the chalk paint, where it's a little bit thicker, but
Yeah.
it doesn't have that.
The chalk paints, I think, dry out.
Yeah,
in
I like
the
the
tube
premium.
really quickly.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to use that whole tube within 6 months, you'll have some problems. Where the regular acrylic paints, I've had some paints on my shelf for 5 years, and they're great. So I think you would find that to be fun. Okay, I hope that helps for how easy, like, I think we did this and I've repeated myself several times, so it's a quick project and not hard to do, but definitely have water on hand, paper towels on hand, sandpaper on hand, and some kind of a palette. And the acrylic paints will ruin your clothes or stain them, and so it's kind of like if you're painting a house. You might want to have an apron. If you haven't ever done this before, just to make sure that you don't bring the project too close to yourself and you'll get some on your tummy and your shirt. But yeah, very easy to do, guys. So, okay, we'll go on to the next step, George.
Okay. All right.
I'll just kind of take this and set it aside while it dries, okay?
Perfect. Okay, and then for everybody else, we're giving away live today one of these bee felt projects by Vicki Chrisman. So if you want to win live, then just keep on commenting. We're going to randomly choose somebody that has been commenting and interacting with the live. So,
oh, I could tell them.
Yeah.
We're just using some baby wipes to clean this surface.
Okay.
Yeah, so it has a little bit of alcohol in it. And look at that, cleans it right up.
Perfect.
So, if you guys, baby wipes are more for them for babies.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
for us grown-ups that like to be creative.
Okay, and Gloria's asking one more time the brush that you're using.
Oh, I just used, Georgiana happened to have this in the stash, and let me pull it out.
It's just from the...
It looks like a house painting brush.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, it's Americana Deco Art too. It's a 1-inch angle. But there's really cheap ones that you can get just like this. And I don't think we paid much for this one either.
No. I just got like an Ace Hardware.
Now, if I'm going to do really beautiful, intricate painting, I may use something different.
You wouldn't use that.
I'm kind of a paintbrush snob.
Yep.
And that's because I want to have something that's a lot more finer. But for a project like this, that's just basic, and we're just kind of slipping and slapping that paint, doing something very basic, I think you're going to find just $1 or $2 paintbrush would work. A sponge brush would not, because you want to put the pressure in the lift, and of course a paintbrush has buoyancy, and it can give you that pickup that you cannot get with a sponge brush. So that's why you want to get just a basic little brush.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
All right. Now we have, as like a little intermission, if you're loving this and you haven't already got it, we have this entire kit available. Now, if you haven't purchased it, we have our Mega B kit, which is the complete finishing kit, the stitch pattern. But the Mega kit also includes these coordinating tea towels. So we have this pattern in the Mega kit. And then it also includes this that we're giving away. So it includes this kit as well. So the Mega B kit is this coordinating set. So it comes with the tea towels, the cute felt projects, and then this complete finishing kit for that Mega kit. And when it's a Mega kit, it also includes the thread. So definitely want to snag that. Okay. All right, on to the finishing part now.
I'm just cleaning this off so when you get the fabric, it's not going to get on anything.
Okay, so for the finishing,
you know, we need a bigger studio.
All right, we'll get on it, Carolee.
If you guys knew, we're just so basic around here. This is kind of like doing it at your kitchen table.
Yeah, that's right. Is this on?
Yeah, I plugged it in. So hopefully, oh, I didn't know I had an on switch.
Well, no, it's warm.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's warm.
Oh, good.
We're good. Okay.
Hey, back when I first started with hot glue guns, you just plugged it in and here it comes.
And
away you went.
Yeah, now they've got
cordless hot glue.
trigger handles and
all the fun things.
oh yeah. I tell you, people just keep improving things, don't they?
They do.
Give us the hearts if you love all the improvements to crafting. Sewing. I mean, people talk about these rotary cutters and the mats and the measuring rulers. I mean,
Pretty amazing.
when I was a little girl, my mom would make a quilt. We would have to take a piece of paper, pin it to the fabric, and then you would take your scissors and cut around it. And poor mom had to try and keep it, now be really straight, you know, so then that way you could put your squares together, and it was harder to line them up. Now we got all kinds of cheater stuff. We do.
I'm a whole
I was going to say we love a cheater method.
I love cheater.
Okay, so this finishing kit comes with what we're going to need next. So there are 2 pieces of mat board. And you're going to want to trim one piece 6.5 inches by 8 inches. That's going to be for your embroidery piece, okay? So you can see we double layered that embroidery piece, okay?
Can I just tell everybody, these mat boards are really good quality because you could paint on them.
You could.
If you don't use them for what she's going to do. I'm looking at them going,
I could paint on that.
that's another painting service.
Okay, so what you're going to do with this is once you have finished stitching and you have rinsed it and ironed it and it's dry, then we're going to mount it onto that trimmed piece, the 6.5 by 8 inch piece. Can you see that? Now this part is optional, so if you would like, I prefer this for the embroidery piece. I like to use some Warm and Natural. It just adds a little bit of what would you call it? It just kind of helps it. So
it's almost a little bit of dimension.
Yeah. It just gives a little bit of cushion. So I like the look of having the warm and natural in there. So I suggest you have some warm and natural. So what you're going to want to do is you could use double stick tape, or you can just use some hot glue like what I'm going to use today for this part. Oops, we need more glue.
That is a lot of glue.
It is a lot of glue. And then I like to just put that on like that, and then just carefully trim off your excess warm and natural, or you could cut it exactly to size.
And we've got warm and natural in the shopping link if you need some.
Perfect. Yeah, if you don't have any. So the warm and natural was not part of the finishing kit, so that you're not searching your supplies. So you just trim that right off. Okay? Like that. Then what you're going to do, pretend like this is the stitch pattern. You're going to take your fabric and you're going to want to make sure that you center your design on that mat board. So I like to just have it face forward, and then you can kind of just tuck it and roll it to the back and make sure. And then you could even mark it so that if you need to adjust anything or come back to it, then you can mark it, okay?
And be sure it's pressed.
Yeah.
Be sure you press your project.
Yep. Okay, so then what I like to do is I like to trim it about 1 inch bigger than my mat board. So then I would just take and trim your stitchery on all sides.
Hey, we need to do a giveaway.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna give away one of those to a live winner.
Yeah? We'll be ready,
What did they need to do to enter that?
Just comment and interact and ask
Perfect.
questions.
Oh,
I just reminded them a few minutes ago.
yeah.
Okay, this blade must not be very good. Okay, then what I like to do to miter my corners is I like to add a little bit of glue in the corner, and then I like to pull my corners like that.
Oh, you do that first thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then that way it's out of the way. The bulk is out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little hot glue. Don't burn your fingers. Don't need much.
Now, if you don't like using hot glue on your stitch fabric, then you can do this by lacing it. And there's lots of tutorials on YouTube of lacing. But for me, I feel like hot glue is so forgiving. If in a few years you want to pull this all off and use it for something else, it will come right off with hot glue. Just stick it in the freezer for a minute. And then that hot glue won't hold very well. Or out in the hot sun, I guess, right? It will melt right off. Then you're just going to take and press down those edges.
Oh, love it.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. I like easy projects.
So the stitching is going to take a little bit, but the finishing part should all just take about an afternoon.
Yep.
Yeah, the stitching does take a while.
That's the part that's going to take the longest.
And that's the fun part that, you know, people can take anywhere and go anywhere and just do it when you get time.
Yep. And then if you want to pull your corners a little bit tighter, just add a little bit more glue. You don't need to have a ton of glue because you don't want it to be super bulky. You just need a little bit of glue.
So she's tucking those corners just a little bit on excess on those corners.
You can also do it like as if you're binding, where you do a 90-degree angle and go around. You don't have to do the corners like I did it. So there's lots of different ways you can do these edges.
Miter your corner more.
Yep.
And if you're worried about burning your finger, get a little popsicle stick.
Yep.
And put the glue down, and then put
I put way too much in
a
that.
pencil, eraser, popsicle stick, something like that to kind of help push.
Laura says, love the corner tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you have it. There's your top. Now you're also going to do the bottom layer. Let me see what I have on. I don't think we trimmed this down at all. Nope. We used the full 8x10 on that one. So I don't trim this one. So we trimmed this one 6.5 by 8 inches, and this one we're not going to trim down. Now this one you're going to want to press this fabric.
Is that ADORNit fabric?
That's brand new,
So
Carolee.
this is why we had to keep delaying the class.
Oh. Yeah, we've done that like in reds and stuff, but now you have it in a buffalo black and white pride.
Yeah. So
Isn't
this
that
is brand
beautiful?
new,
I
guys.
love it. Yeah, well that's exciting.
Worth the wait.
Yeah, totally worth the wait.
Yeah.
So mine is not pressed, but you're gonna want to press yours, okay? You don't want wrinkles on your fabric. So you're gonna do the exact same method. You're gonna flip it over, you're gonna trim it down 1 inch all around your edges. You're gonna fold it in, all the same things, okay?
Can I tell them why
So
I
while
like this?
you
Why I
chit-chat-
like this plaid?
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna chat a second. So if
Well,
you
here,
get in
why don't you let me do my thing.
close, you can see that there's a little tan
we have another
square inside the squares.
I think we have some of
And-
the prototype stuff up front that I can
Here,
grab.
why don't you open that one and show?
Okay. So I designed it purposely that way. I'll just talk now that we've got it.
Okay.
With the little tan, because we could have it just be white in the center of each square.
We can show it on there.
Yeah. Okay. But when I designed it, I put that tan, a little off-white. You can see that little off-white in there. And I did that purposely so that it had white and tan both. So it just isn't just tan, which would be flat, and just white, which would maybe be too much white. So it gives you both of those colors to pick up from projects. I love that for that reason. So it's just not a basic plaid, because it has that little square in there of an off-white. Kind of takes the edge off of it just a little bit. And here we go back to the corners again, huh?
I'm gonna do this the other way.
You're gonna miter it? Oh, boy, we're gonna see 2 ways to do it. Okay. And the fabric does have a little stretch to it, doesn't it, as you go to do this?
Yeah. Oops, too much glue on that one.
So don't over pull.
Yeah, don't over pull. I pull too tight.
Yeah, don't over pull. You can put a wave to it.
Janice has just a general crafting question for you. When do you change the blade for a cutter?
When it stops working.
Bingo.
Hey, there might be some really good sewers in this group that was going to have some great advice. So chime in, ladies.
Okay, so for this, I fold this corner over 90 degrees, right? Isn't that what that's called?
Yep.
A 90 degree?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then,
You can make it corner it.
yep, you can add a little bit of glue if you want to make it stay. And then you're going to take and add more glue around your edge. And then now you're going to fold that over like that.
Which mitered the corner.
And it adds a little bit of bulk right there. So I feel like you don't get that bulk when you do the corner method that I showed earlier. But you could also just take some scissors and cut out some of the bulk. So you guys, there's no right or wrong to any of this.
However you would prefer.
Yep.
I think we should give away our sample pieces that we're demoing. We can just put it all in a box and somebody can finish it off. Yeah. Because sometimes we don't know what to do with our
So
sample
not our
pieces.
finished sample,
No, not the finished.
the one that we're showing right
The
now.
one she painted and then these pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which the one that got
So you'll
painted
still
is-
have to stitch.
Yep.
Yeah, because we didn't do that part today.
How do you want them to enter for that, Carolee?
Let's ask a question. Let's see. Why can anybody name what I called it at the very beginning of this form of painting that we were doing? If they know, if they were listening at that point of the video. Because I said what kind of form of painting I love to do and was involved in when I first moved up here to Logan area. wanted to get out, make friends, and went to a conference, I said. And
what kind of painting was that?
What kind of painting? Yeah, that'd be a fun question. Is anybody answering?
Yep.
On this last one, so I mitered this one, and then you'll have to miter this one. So I didn't glue all the way down because you've got to stop and you've got to miter, and you want to be able to have enough fabric right there to miter that corner. And this layer, remember, I didn't add warm and natural on this layer, so I only added warm and natural on that stitching layer. So if you want to add it to this layer, you can do it as well, but I didn't on ours. So, whoops.
Oh, so you could add the warm and natural, which gives it more puffiness.
Yeah, so the stitch one I did, this one I did not.
And Georgiana didn't iron her samples. So whoever gets this is going to have to iron it.
Well, they're not going to want this anyways.
Yeah, that's what we're going to send them. And they could just iron it.
I don't know what they'll do with a blank thing.
Oh, they can just do their.
How about we send them the stitch paper? How about we
then
send them the stitch paper?
They could just rewrap it.
We're just winging this, guys.
We'll send you something good.
Literally, we are winging it.
Yeah. We always are.
Okay, now you have Rick Rack, and we are going to, once again, hot glue, and we are going to hot glue that behind the base of your stitch. So you're going to kind of want to lay it on and see how much Rick Rack you want to show. Because if you want just a little teeny tiny bit, you know, you kind of need to figure out where you're going to want to layer that and how much you want to show. Now here's my tip for this, because you don't want that, you don't want to start right there and have that yucky frayed edge. See that? So my tip is that you start and glue that piece back.
And I do it on the bottom, not at the top of your piece too. Whatever, look at which way your lettering's going.
And then you can just kind of twist it, and you could even add a little bit of glue right there and twist it up. So then you can have a straight start. And then you're just gonna add a little bit of glue, and I want a lot of my Rick Rack to show. So I am just going to add a little bit of glue right there. So see how much I have? And then you're just going to twist and keep going all along the edge like that with glue. And I like to just go a little bit at a time.
Just to secure it.
Yep.
The stitched piece goes on top of the padded piece, is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
So we're not going to show a stitched piece. So pretend that cream fabric is our stitched piece.
Yeah, you guys have to put on your imagination caps.
Yep, because ours is that. Ours is stitched and done.
Yeah.
You see the side view.
And then you just lightly glue as you go. And if you're using hot glue, be careful you don't burn your fingers, or use a popsicle stick like Carolee said.
So you mitered the corner on the cream and the black and white fabric, right? It was just two different methods
Yep.
of mitering it.
Yep.
And I love these coordinating felt pieces that Vicki Chrisman has designed. These are all come in a kit, and we'll re-show them again. They are just so adorable. I mean, look at that. Isn't that just so sweet? And Vicki's so talented, and she's come up with the most darling. She's been doing these little felt things for, gosh, 5 years or so. She's just so talented, and we were so excited she's willing to work with us and share her talent.
I know, we'll have to ask her when she started doing it. She started doing our cute hearts.
Yes.
I wonder if she started before that. She's been doing it a long time.
Yeah, well, and she's always added ribbons and touches of little doodads to card making and to altered art. And she did that for years.
Yeah, we know Vicki from our scrapbooking days.
Very talented. A lot of talented ladies that we know from scrapbooking. And they're still actively making beautiful, beautiful projects. So you can follow any of these girls on their Instagram or Facebook and see the projects that they're up to.
Yep, and our hand embroidery piece is illustrated by Lindsay Ostrom.
Yep. A separate artist.
Yep.
Different artist. So we have two different artists. We have Vicky and we have Lindsay.
At least for the bee collection, we've got two.
Yeah. Yeah, we have other collections and we have some new stuff coming out. So you always want to be watching for what fun things we're up to.
Okay, so now I'm to that end. So I am just going to, once again, I just want to bring that up so that it is out of the way. And then you can just take and get some scissors, if we have any. Nope.
And clip it off.
Clip it off.
Yeah, she's going through every drawer back here. Isn't that how it is? You need it and you can't find it?
Okay.
How many go through that? Raise your hand.
There we have our rickrack.
Oh,
Beautiful.
And show how cute it is layered behind it.
Yep.
Bingo! And pretend that has the stitchery in there.
Okay, so now what you can do is hot glue those two pieces together, but I'm going to show you, before you hot glue, you're going to want to place this. Now, I placed mine because down a little bit farther so that I left room up here at the top to tie your twine. So I would grab your twine out of your bag.
That comes in your kit. You'll get the rickrack, ribbon, twine, and these cute little decorative balls.
Yep.
Good
And
balls.
we painted ours yellow. You can leave them natural. And I would just tie it and then tie a couple knots at the end so that your bead doesn't come off. Like that. And then I suggest before you glue that on, you kind of take and wrap it around so you have enough room. And you can kind of like get a visual of where you want things, right? Before you go gluing.
And it is offset. You can see where she's offset it to one side so that when the beads kind of hang down, it's not covering everything. It's not like right in the middle. So our side, it gives it an off balance and it adds a touch of dimension and fun without detracting from your stitchery.
Yep. Now you can wrap it around twice and do a bow. I wrapped this one around 3 times. And
Tap with the, I want to show them a tip too on the balls before she puts that on. If you're painting that, you could take a pencil, pretend this is a pencil. You can put that on a pencil lid and paint that.
Smart.
Just a quick, easy way to paint a round ball.
Love it. Okay, so then you could take and wrap it around twice or 3 times and just do a knot. So it totally depends. And then you would tie on the other bead. Okay? And then I would, once you have that situated, then you kind of know, okay, this is where I want to place my stitcher, like that. Okay? And then all we do is we just add some hot glue onto the back of this and place that right onto your mat board. Make sure it's centered and then hold it in place and let it dry. And that portion, oops, my bead, is complete. Okay? So then what you're going to do, where's your cute
Finish piece.
bead?
And it is now dry. And pretend it's dried and has a coat of sealer on it.
Okay.
Because you have to have it seal coated before you do this.
So now we get to add on our ribbon. And you're going to cut, so you're going to take and you're going to want to cut your base layer first. So you get all this. So you're going to cut your base layer and you're going to, are you grabbing the scissors?
She has them right here.
Okay. I just want to show how to do the cute ribbon. We've already pre-cut ours. But you're going to want to do this base layer first.
And it is how long?
We can grab scissors.
Measure it right there, how many inches it is.
Yeah, well, it is 12.
12 inches.
And then you're going to want to do a cute little banner edge on it. She's grabbing the scissors. And then for the other layers, you're going to...
Well, and you can explain how you're going to do that. You're going to fold it in half.
That's, she's getting me scissors.
45
scissors
degree,
right there.
45-degree angle. When you grab them.
Oh, I see. She beat you.
Oh.
Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to fold your ribbon in half, like this. And then you're going to take... She beat you. And then... you're going to take and you're just going to trim that off in the center. And don't use your fabric scissors. This has wire in it. So if you're using fabric scissors, you'll ruin your blade.
Use your craft scissors.
Use your craft scissors. So again, fold it in half. And then you take and you just trim that from the center out to the edges. And you get a cute little peaked edge. Okay, like that. And that becomes your base ribbon. So you're only doing that to your base ribbon. Then the next ones, you're going to take and you're going to cut them and you are going to fold them into half, but you're going to have your two edges come to meet the center. Like that. Okay? And you're going to do 3 layers.
I don't know if they can see that on that side, that you were pointing it towards you.
Where was it?
Oh, okay.
You're going to sit and fold, and you're going to build these ribbon layers, and they need to be different lengths. So you have your base layer that you're going to stack and layer these on. So your base layer, then you're going to stack the next one, then you're going to make the next one shorter.
Is there a specific length that they need to cut them?
We will post that.
See how they go 1, 2, 3, and you can fluff them up.
And then what you're going to do is you're going to get some floral wire. Where's my wire? And you're going to take and kind of pinch it to create your cute bow. And keep it in there. And you guys see how you're doing that? And then you're just gonna, on the back side,
you're gonna take extra fabric and loop them on the top. Right there.
You're jumping ahead of me.
Oh.
Teacher. I think I'm teacher.
Well, that'll give people a good laugh.
Okay.
You're gonna wear like your house.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna go make pumpkin
So you're gonna
pie.
twist that to keep all those layers together, okay guys? Then, what you're gonna do is you have another piece and you're going to just take and tie a knot, a loose knot, like that, and keep it loose. And then you're going to now do what Carolee was trying to say, and that becomes the center
Oh, that's
of
nifty.
your cute bow. And you can play with it. That's what's so fun about this having wire. That becomes the center, and now you're gonna flip that over, and now you're gonna add a gob of hot glue.
That's way easier than it looked.
Yep. And then you can trim off that excess piece right there. And then add a little bit more glue on this side. Right there. It's hot. Hold it. And then trim that off. And voila. And then, since it's wire, play with it and fluff it and just make it look all big and poofy and all sorts of fun. And if you want it to be tighter, just tighten the middle part. If you want it to be more of like a scrunch bow, I mean, have fun with it. Because, oops, I didn't get that piece in. And if you do that, just add a little bit of glue in there, guys.
Easy peasy.
Easy, easy, easy. That is how you do your bow. And then once again, you're gonna add, I'm not gonna do it since we're sending this to someone, then you're gonna add a big gob of glue right there. And voila. You are now done.
Easy as pie.
So cute, right? Okay, then we have the last finishing touch, which is another ADORNit exclusive, which is the cute intricate cut bumblebee, which we painted ours black. So you can paint yours black, or you could even just leave it natural. And we just placed ours right up there. So that is how you complete your cute beehive.
Easy as pie.
Hit the heart button, ladies. Isn't that so fun? So yeah, how long have we been live?
Not sure.
An hour?
Yep, an hour.
Okay, an hour, we were able to finish our project. And that's us like going slow, teaching you, showing you step by step. But that's painting and then taking and cutting all your fabric apart. So get your stitchery done and then you have a darling project in the end. Like I said earlier, you guys, this would be the cutest handmade Christmas gift to give to someone.
Yep.
So we have more kits available. So if you want to purchase some more kits, then you totally can. They're in the link above. You can get it just the pattern. You can get it as a complete kit. We have all the options. If you want just the wood beehive and none of the other stuff, we have all the different options. So that's fun.
But your best deal is getting it in that mega kit and also getting the tea towels and the felt kits.
Yes. Yep. Also, will you please tell her that we're done?
Oh, yeah.
Come sign off.
She left. She left. So, anyways, that is the fun project, and I felt like there's something else I was going to tell you. We need to do our live giveaway winners.
Yep. Let's grab one of them. All right. Our winner for our felt kit is going to be Debbie Benson.
Woohoo, Debbie.
Congrats, Debbie.
Yay.
And the winner for Carolee's giveaway for our sample pieces is Judy Bartholow, Bartholow.
Okay. Judy, you're the winner, and Debbie. So please email us within 24 hours to redeem your prize, info@adornit.com. Please tell us what item you won and your address to ship to, okay? So that's fun. Congratulations, and thanks for watching live.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, and we appreciate it. And if you like this, let us know. Give us the hearts, because we'll do some more like this if you enjoy it. Because I think it was really fun to pre-ship this to a group of people. That, and like I said, join our email list if you're not, so that you're aware when we do these. And share them with your friends too.
Speaking of emails, we're going to have a finished instructional video with slow step-by-steps of this that we'll cut together and put out somewhere. If you want to know when that video is done, there's a link above that says or sign up for email or something. Click on that and give us your email. That way we can send you that link when that video is ready for you.
We'll notify you when it's up on YouTube.
Yep.
So you can go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to remember. Oh, I know what I want to tell you guys. Remember, Monday we have another class. So Monday we have a sewing class. Do you want to go grab that tea towel up front?
Yep.
I took it off the ladder, so it might be sitting by the register.
Is this the gingerbread one?
Yeah. So Monday
Oh, it's so cute.
is our fun gingerbread class.
I
So
love it.
we had 2 back-to-back classes this week.
Yeah. Is this new fabric going to be on the website?
Yeah, it's
It's
not
not
yet.
yet.
We wanted to make it exclusive for everybody that signed up,
Oh.
but it will be. So
Okay.
we will be adding that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is our class on Monday. So we will be doing gingerbread tea towel class Monday at 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. I'm going to be teaching you how to take your embroidered tea towel and to make it into a hanging tea towel. Isn't that so fun? So we have all the pattern and everything. Everything is shipped out
In a kit.
in a kit. So that's exciting. So if you haven't got your class kit for this, it's not too late. It is too late to
What?
get
Yeah, I
time
was
for
going
the
to say.
class.
Well, they can.
But they can still
make
get it and make it later.
Watch and make it. Because I think it's good to really watch something through
Once.
and then go back and make it, and then you can fast forward and rewind. I'm one of those.
Yeah. So if you want to get this kit, if you haven't ordered it yet, it's gingerbreadteatowelclass.com.
Yep.
Okay. Gingerbreadteatowelclass.com.
Isn't that the cutest little buffalo plaid too for that? I love it. So
Fantastic.
I know I'm excited about that. So that's Monday. So lots and lots of fun things happening around here. Okay, any other questions before we sign off?
We're golden.
Okay, all right. Well, you guys, thank you so much for joining us. And Mom, thanks for coming in and teaching us your painting secrets.
Yeah, it was really easy. I hope everybody just, I hope we hear back from people go, yes, that was so easy. And remember the orchestra, it was pressure, lift to get the wisp. Yeah. Yep.
And once you get yours done, please post them in our Stitch group. We love seeing everyone's finished projects.
Oh, yeah.
And you can just go ahead and go show us how far you got today during the class. We'd love to see all your progress.
Yes.
Oh,
yes, that would be fun.
Yes.
Yeah, so Stitch It with ADORNit is our free stitching Facebook group. So we'd love to have you join us and post pictures. It's a really fun, innovative, inspiring group that we have.
And they're
women.
so kind.
Mm-hmm.
And you can ask questions and people will chime in and help.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's wonderful.
Yes.
It's a good community.
Yep.
So, okay. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for joining us and happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, let's blow them all a kiss.
Yeah. Okay. See you guys.